welcome back to another episode of Love and Gratitude. I hope you're doing well and you're enjoying your day. I must admit that I had the worst morning of my life. And it was just so bad for me to wake up and to get out of my bed. And because I was so in pain, I woke up with the worst muscle soreness of my life. Really, I never had it that bad before. I think I overdid it with training yesterday and it was just too much, to be honest, because I trained yesterday just normally, but this time I trained a bit more than usual. And I'm training for calisthenics because I really want to learn calisthenics, and that's why I had this special training plan. But I'm gonna tell you, it was just too much. It was super exhausting, but it was also great because after that I was feeling energized, and because I'm getting stronger every day, and also I want to start fighting, like self-defense, because I need to learn how to defend myself outside, because I'm alone very often and I travel a lot alone very often. And a few months ago I got attacked by a dog, I learned from this because I had nothing with me, like no pepper spray and no little knife, but now I'm gonna be more careful and I really have to learn how to defend myself. So that's why I'm like training even more and more. And I have some yearly goals for my body and how I want to look like. So that's why I was training a little bit too much in the last few weeks. And yesterday it was just too much. And everything hurts right now. And it never hurt that bad before. So I hope it will be gone soon. And I was feeling super exhausted, and I still feel super exhausted, but it's gonna be better soon. So I have to take my magnesium. And if you don't take magnesium, then this is your reminder to start taking magnesium, because it's very essential. It's very important for you and for your health. And then later I had a super nice interview with my friend Kashi, and the interview is gonna be online, I think either on Friday or next week, but it's gonna come online soon, and I'm super excited, and you should be too, because that person is so cool. Like, he has such an amazing personality and a very interesting background, like also very chaotic past, and I think it's worth listening to that, because it's such a different life and different story. And I think, for me, basically, every person is like a book. And when you talk to a person, then it's like you're having a short trailer of that person's life and of that person and that personality, or reading the back of the book, And, also, I had another humbling experience today, because, we always say never judge a book by its cover, and I judged someone. Of course, judging is bad, so please do not judge anyone. And I'm also learning to not judge anyone, but it's very difficult sometimes. I was judging that person, but then it turned out that this person has a great personality. I'm talking about another person, by the way. So, another reminder for you: never judge a book by its cover and never judge a person. So another thing is that, another thing I want to tell you, because I've got so many things to tell you before going to into the topic. Today I met my friend, and we went to this cafe, and, I had my cinnamon roll again. It was so good. Oh my God. And, usually, of course, like, I care about what I eat and my diet, but sometimes eating sweets is okay, like, it depends on what you eat and how much. So yeah, don't judge me. I love that cinnamon roll. Oh my God. I think I've never had a better cinnamon roll in my life before, and they have the best cinnamon roll ever. And I really have to steal their recipe one day. So I went there and I met my friend, and the weather is so beautiful, and so we were talking, etc. And she comes from far away, and she came by car, and I came today by train to this meeting point, to this cafe. And at the end, when we were going, she said, "Hey, I can take you with me, like I can drive you home." And I said, "No, because I live far away from here, and you have to go to the opposite way, to the opposite side, and it would be just another like extra for you, so please don't drive me. It's okay, I can go home easily." And she said, no, it's okay, like it's just 10 minutes from here, right? And I said, yeah, okay, so then let's do it, because I don't like to argue with someone or discuss something, because it's just you just have to accept. You just have to accept the help and everything. If someone is offering you, of course, it's nice and polite if you just say no in the beginning, and when you say, "Oh, it's okay, I can handle it by myself," or "I can do it." But it's also like, for the second offer, when this person is offering you something again, then you should definitely take it, because it's a sign, it's a sign from God, it's a sign from the universe, whatever you want to call it, because people, they're in your life for a reason, and they are helping you for a reason, because you guys have a soul contract. And so anyways, and then she drove me home today. So it was so nice to talk again in the car and have this quick trip with her. And you know what? The reason why she drove me home was, in my way of thinking and from my opinion, is that on Sunday, so 4 days ago, I met some other friends in in the same cafe actually, and there was one friend, and she had no car. Because her car had some problems, whatever, and her grandma drove her there. So then I asked her, "Hey, how did you come here?" And then she said, "Yeah, my grandma drove me here." And then I said, "If you want, I can take you later home when we go home, and I can drive you." And then she was like, "Yeah, if this is not a problem for you, then it would be great, great opportunity, great chance for me." So then my grandma doesn't have to come extra. And and I drove her home on Sunday, and today I got driven by someone else to my home. And the good deed that I did on Sunday came back to me today. And this is so cool, because karma is real. And I want to prove you here that karma is real, good karma and bad karma. So whatever you do, please think twice before you do something, because something bad especially, because everything always comes back to you. Remember this. So in today's episode, we're gonna talk about success and how to achieve success, because of my personal stories and personal experiences, because now I want to tell you some other stories. And so first of all, I started posting on social media consistently now 3 days ago or 2 days ago, I don't know, but yeah, because in 2023, I don't want to lie, but I think in 2023, in summer, I started posting on Instagram, okay, constantly. Like, I started creating reels, and I started creating content, just only for Instagram. So, all my life, I've not been really using TikTok, because I'm not a big fan of TikTok, and usually I'm not a big fan of social media overall. But it's also a great tool to first of all grow an audience, and to just to use it for marketing or whatever, and also to, for example, inform yourself, or do some research or whatever, follow the news, whatever. But TikTok, I've I'm not a big fan of TikTok. I don't really like TikTok, but TikTok is actually the easiest way to reach many people. And so for the first time in my life, I started posting on TikTok 2 days ago, I think, or 3 days ago. But because, I started this podcast, as you listen to it right now. And I think the best way to market this podcast and what I'm doing and my purpose and my work is through social media. And of course, I have to put a lot of effort in it and a lot of work because, it's just you create content. I film this right now and then I cut it. I mean, I'm usually trying to not cut it, but sometimes I have to because sometimes I do little weird things and then it's not really cool. And that's why, I'm just preparing everything, the content and creating it and then posting, uploading here and there. And I was also looking for some AI tools to, just to make some short clips out of the whole video. And so I can post it on social media, just like TikTok or Instagram. And so, or YouTube Shorts, because I've heard that posting on YouTube Shorts is necessary to grow and to get better and to, have more attention. So I'm doing this right now. So, and on Sunday I created, I think 45 reels in like 2 hours by myself, like doing it by myself manually, not by AI. So it was nice because this time I really want to start creating and posting what I like, okay? So because before I was always creating the type of content which Instagram liked or which other people liked, but it was still what I liked, but it was not 100% because it was more like a burden, more like a responsibility, and more like a very, very hard work and exhausting work, which I had to do every day. And then, just investing my time and my effort, And so back in 2023, I started posting on Instagram every day, okay, for like 30 days or 60 days, I don't really remember, but 2 months at least, okay. So then I grew so much on Instagram, like so many people started to follow me, and I had so many views on some reels, and it started getting better and better. And then I started with university with my first semester, and then of course I started to have less time. But you know what, now I'm like, I just hate that decision. Of course, I'm trying to not regret it, but I hated that I decided to stop posting on Instagram, because if I kept going back then in 2023, then I would have now maybe over 100,000 followers and a huge audience, which would be super nice for me, because then I would already achieve what I want to achieve now. And but the problem is that I just stopped, and for whatever reason, because I thought I would not have time because of university and because of the classes and because of the exams. Okay, so exams are a good reason to to stop something, but exam season is just for 1 month or 2 months, so you can with time management you can prioritize what you want to do on for example on your weekends, or how you want to just manage your days, so you can study and focus on social media. But if you are a content creator and if you're doing so many things all at once, like combining your education, hobbies, sports, family, friends, and yourself, and content creation and social media, whatever, if you're combining all of these things, then that it's super exhausting. Like, you have to do so many things, and you have so many tasks you do, So if you do this, you feel me. And then you have to work, whatever. So it is time consuming, okay? And it's super exhausting. And then few months later, I took the second chance, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it again. Like I will start posting on Instagram again, consistently. And then I did it for like 60 days again or something. And then it was not really working just as the first time, you know? I had lesser views and not that the algorithm was not very working in my favor. So it was very difficult. And you know what? It was so exhausting. Like I couldn't do this anymore. So I stopped again. And now today, in this year, 2025, by the way, I'm thinking that this year is my year because it's the year of the snake, and you know, I was born in the year of the snake. I was born in 2001. It was the year of snake, so I'm a snake of the Chinese calendar. Yeah, so. And 2025 is also the year of snakes. So if you are also born in 2001, you know, you have better chances to succeed in whatever you do in this year. So take the possibility, take the chance to create whatever you want to create and start achieving your goals. That was a quick reminder. In this year, I want to start creating content on social media because, as you know, I started this podcast and I want to market this and I want to really create good content and I want to reach people because I want to create a good community and I want to connect with people because, you know, since I started this podcast, I already met so many new people, even just online, but you know, it's just people who are in the same wavelength as you and people who are like-minded, you know, like-minded people and in the same, you know, energy and vibe and having this almost the same mindset. I mean, not everyone has the same mindset, of course, but, you know, like similar, and which is great. And, you know, in German, we say, alle guten Dinge sind drei, which means all the good things are three or all the good things come with three or something, you know, because, you know, first I failed, second I failed, and third time, this time I will not fail, you know, I will succeed this time. And you know what? I will do it for 1 year. You're probably thinking, oh, Ruki, you're talking so much and you're saying like just words and you're throwing out some words and da-da-da. But you know what? I will do it. Like I can make it and you can do it too because everyone can do it. You just have to decide for it and, you know, you have to set the intention. And, you know, have you ever read this book by Napoleon Hill? Something with how Think and Grow Rich. Yes, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And he said there that first you have to set your intention and second you need, you know, when you set your intention and when you put the effort in it, then the universe will work in your favor and God will also help you with everything because then all of a sudden your energy will shift and everything will change around you, the people and your environment and everything else, you know, more chances will be visible for you and, you know, God will send you more gifts. So I set this intention of creating more content and I will succeed in this because, you know, success comes with never stopping. Like success comes with never giving up. And you know, people who never give up something or their work or their hobby or their whatever, their goal, then they will 100% succeed. Because if you fail, you can still start again, you know, you can still restart. And success also comes to those who keep going even when it's tough, you know, because when you fail, this is actually a great chance for you to, you know, get up again and do it again. Because success means basically never giving up, no matter what. And people who fail, at the end of the day, they succeed at some point because they never give up. And, you know, you can fail 100 times, but after the 100th of time, you will succeed, you know, because I want to tell you one example. there was this one game on my phone. It's called Catty, and it's for collecting Catty tokens for a decentralized finance, in that section. So they created this game on Telegram. So I was playing this for several months, but I deleted that because it was a waste of time, even though it was just my only distraction, because I don't really have entertainment distractions. Or, right now I'm watching some shows or anime because I still have the time, so I'm using it because it's the only thing that I watch. And that's why, but in 2 weeks I will not be able to watch anything, because I never watch something, but when I have the time, then I enjoy watching it. So the game Catty was my only distraction, but I just eliminate every distraction because it's not worth your time and it's a waste of time. So I already played that for some months, so now it's okay. Like, you have to set borders, for yourself, and you just have to enjoy, but also set borders, and be disciplined about it. And so in that game, and it's from my personal experience, I failed, and sometimes I was playing like 10 rounds of that game until I succeeded, because every day you could like reach 100% the goal, for success, but I was sometimes only getting until 50% or 60% or 70 or 90%, but never hitting the 100%. And I was replaying again and again, and so at the end I had success, even though I played that game for 20 times in a row on that day, and but I was never giving up. But and when I had success, I was feeling that this quick dopamine feeling, and then something made a click in my head, and I understood that life is as simple as a game. When you want to reach a goal, when you want to reach something, you just do it, and I do it and do it and do it again and again and again until you succeed in that, and you never give up, no matter what. Even if you just come for just 20%, as far as 20% or 30% or 90%, but you never give up, and you do it again until you hit the 100%, just like that game. And you probably play games too. So if you do, please observe yourself and remember my words. You keep going until you succeed, right? Until you win that game, and you never give up, and you put your time and your effort in this game. And life is just like that, So it's success. It's the most simple and easy definition of success because you just keep going and you never stop. And there is another quote. It goes, "Success starts with the belief that you can achieve it. Shift your mindset and the possibilities are endless." And I really like to repeat myself, and I like to tell everyone and even myself every day, believe in yourself. Really, believe in everything. Be delusional. Set high goals. Really, even if it's for you impossible, it's not impossible, it's possible, but it's impossible for your ego. Remember this, because for your soul, everything is possible. Yesterday, I met another friend and we went out for a walk, and he's super old already. He's like 87? Yeah. You're maybe now thinking, oh my God, why do we have such an old friend? But I have many old friends and many young friends. I have so many friends from every age, from each age, and I enjoy everything, because from some you learn, from some you just listen and pay attention, to some you teach, to some you change your mindset and your opinion. You can learn something from everyone, and you can learn something from yourself just by observing. So yesterday I went out for a walk, and he said, "Rookie, never stop dreaming big. Never stop dreaming big, because believing in yourself and dreaming, they have such a high frequency, especially believing in something and believing in God and believing in yourself. You will you will just be on such a high frequency you can't even imagine. And it's just impossible for your ego, but remember, everything is possible, and be delusional. And so I also want to tell you that everything is possible. Another experience, another lesson for me was my work experience, my job, and being unemployed. Like I stopped working in September last year, so I was unemployed for half a year. I don't know. We have a May now. I don't know. So please, you can calculate how many months. I don't know. So I was unemployed until now, and I was applying for so many jobs, really, like for so many jobs, and I always received a no, and at the end I found one company, and that was my dream company, and I've always wanted to work there, and I always wanted to go there. And you know what I did? I applied 100 times, 200 times. I don't even remember how many times I applied. I applied always for the same thing, and even if there was a new job, I was applying for that job. I applied, and I never stopped, because I believed that, one day they have to say yes. I mean, what else can they do? Because I show persistence and I show perseverance, which also, do you know Bob Proctor? Bob Proctor always says in his podcast or in his videos, he talks about persistence a lot, and perseverance, that you always have to show persistence and consistency and discipline. Like, you have to combine these things and you will succeed 100%, 1000%. Believe in yourself and believe in that mindset, So I showed persistence, and consistently I was applying for that company, and you know what happened? At the end, they said yes, and they invited me for an interview. So I went there, and everything was working well. So I have that job now, and I'm super happy, super excited. It's one of the best companies, one of the greatest companies, and you can ever imagine. And I'm super excited. And you know what? Again, I proved that it's working. Persistent and never giving up is working. For me, it was very bad and very frustrating, to not get a job, because each email was saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't accept you," or whatever, So so many companies, and after so many months, like, I was so, in a bad mood, and I was like, what is going on, What is wrong with the world? Like, why is no one accepting me? But at the end, like, something better was waiting there for me. And I'm super happy now, and I'm full of gratitude, and thank you, God, endlessly, and for these possibilities. And stay humble and stay grateful and believe in yourself, as I said, because then everything will work out. And there was this I had like a piece of advice from someone back in 2019. I was working at Mercedes, and it was super nice. It was so cool. I had a great team, and we were always having so much fun. And there was this one guy. He said, we had someone who applied always for the same job. He never gave up applying, and he always applied and reapplied and reapplied and reapplied 1,000 times, and he was a great story and great example in that company, and everyone was talking about this. And he said that he was applying so many times and so often that at the end of the day, the company Mercedes gave up, and they said, okay, come and start working, because you never give up. So either you give up or they give up, so it's up to you. You can choose, and you can decide for yourself what you want to do. And so it's my piece of advice to you, and now you know these stories and these experiences from me, and you can do whatever you want to do with this information. And I just want to help you, and I want to show you another perspective, and so my mindset, so you can maybe just start amplifying this for yourself and for your life. And so that was it from my side. Thank you so much for listening, and please stay always with loving gratitude and enjoy your day.